In this session, we're actually going to talk about how do you connect to wireless. You now have your print voucher in hand. You have already been to the front desk. You've signed up. They've given you a piece of paper that has your username and your password on it. So now, what do you do? This session is going to walk you through how to actually connect to get on the Bossier Parish Library wireless system. Now, it may be different for your computer, but this is the basics of how you're going to connect. If you haven't done so already, when they gave you your voucher, should have also given you a wireless internet access brochure. If you do not have one of these, you probably want to go back and ask for one. The front cover is here, and it has a list of branches that actually have this wireless system in place. It also lets you know that the staff may or may not, more than likely will not be able to help you to actually get connected to wireless. There are so many different computers, there are so many different electronic devices that are out there that there's no way possible we can train all our staff on how each one of them works. So that is why we've created this brochure to kind of help you know the basics for how to get connected. On the back of that brochure, it's going to have steps for how to log on to wireless. This is what we're going to go over in this session. But before we do, let's look on the inside of this brochure. On the inside in the left corner, on the left side, it gives you some basic information about wireless. One of the things it tells you is that this system went into place in late April of this year, 2010. It will also tell you what type of passes that we give out. Our regular card, active card holders that are in good standing can get a 5-day pass. Our guests and our visitors are eligible for a minimum of a 1-day pass. Okay? So we also want to let you know that at times the wireless signal may not reach the parking lot, and there may be times where we may decide that wireless is not going to be available after hours. So please keep that in mind. We also want to point out that using a public Wi-Fi network is not secure. Therefore, we encourage you to limit your network activity, your wireless network activity, to non-critical email and basic internet surfing. That is for your protection from identity theft and the like. We also strongly encourage you that on your personal computer that you have your firewall turned on, your antivirus up to date, you have all of your updates if you're using a Windows machine, and these instructions are strictly for Windows, that you have file sharing turned off, and any files that are sensitive or pertinent, that they are encrypted. Once again, our staff will not be able to help you to do any of that, so that is something that you will be responsible for. Now, on the right side, we have the basic settings for how to get on wireless. If you're familiar with how to automatically go in and set these settings, then that's good. This is how you connect. Most computers, by default, you can kind of go through the steps on the back page and be able to walk through it without ever having to come down here and actually go to any of these control panels to make any changes. So if you have this in hand, this will help you to actually connect to our wireless. But for right now, we're going to walk you through it. So for step 1, we've already been to the circ desk. We have our voucher in our hand for how to get on. We've turned on our computer. We've logged into our computer. We've checked to make sure that wireless is turned on. Now we're going to browse for available wireless networks, which is what this icon is for. I'm going to double click it, and you can either click on connect to a network, or you can right click on this icon and go to connect to a network. And what it's going to do is it's going to show you all of the available wireless networks in your area. At the current time, I am sitting at the Bossier Central Library, and the available wireless networks are BPL_staff and library_Wi-Fi. At all of our remote locations, you will have the library_Wi-Fi. That is the one you want to highlight and go ahead and connect to. it says it has successfully connected to library underscore Wi-Fi. I want to point out, if you have the instructions in front of you, on step 7 it says that if you desire you can save the network. Well, I have already connected to this particular network on this computer before, and I've already saved it, so I can't show you that step. But it tells you clearly that if you desire, you could check the Save This Network box and then click on Public Location. And then for step 8, which is where we are now, you're going to click Close. Now, some people think now that they have actually connected to wireless, that they're on wireless, and now they can search the internet. So they want to go in. Sometimes people make a mistake and they think, I'm going to go in, I'm going to do my Word, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. You don't want to do that, because if you're looking, if you have the brochure in front of you, or even if you don't, there's still 4 more steps that you need to do before you are successfully on wireless. The next step, which is step number 9, you want to go ahead and immediately open up your internet browser. In my case, it's Internet Explorer. And it's going to bring you to the page where you're going to type in your username and your password. This is where you pull out your voucher, and you're going to go ahead and you're going to enter that information in. In this case, the fictitious patron that I'm typing in happens to be a guest user, so I'm going to be typing in their name. But if you were a library patron, you would actually type out your entire library card, whatever that may be, put that number there, and then type the password that is on your print voucher. Now I am going to log in as my patron. And this is what happens. It's going to bring up a session box. It's going to have your username. It's going to have your IP address. And it's going to say that you are logged in. You can minimize this. You don't want to close it, but you want to minimize that. And then it immediately takes you to an internet page that says, hey, by using this free service offered by Bossier Parish Library, you are agreeing to abide by the following wireless network access policy. If you have not done so, please, please, please read our wireless network access policy to know what our guidelines are. It is from here that you can go ahead and do your Google search if you would like to go and get on Word and type or do whatever it is you need to do. This is where you would do it. Now let's say when you get finished with wireless, what do you need to do? There are 2 things you need to do. Number 1, you need to log out of your account, which is where that box is. Let's go down here and get it. You need to log out of your account, bring this box back up and log out of your account, and then you also need to actually log out of wireless. So step 1, to log out of your wireless account, you're going to log out. When it says you are now logged out from the network, close this box, and then you also want to come over here, double click, and disconnect from the wireless if you so desire. That's all you need to do to connect to wireless at Bossier Parish Library.